After it was announced that India's GDP growth rate in first quarter of 2019-20 came down to 5%, there was a spate of news that went viral in social media. One such news claimed that for the first time in 70 years after India and Pakistan were formed, India's GDP growth rate went below Pakistan's. India's is 5% and Pakistan's is 5.4%, and this happened because of Modi. This is the gist of the message. Let's see how true it is. Now, after India and Pakistan were formed in 1947, if you want to see their GDP growth rates, most of which is available on the World Bank website. On the World Bank website, you can clearly see, and when you map them on a chart, comparing India's and Pakistan's GDP growth rate, that multiple times in the past, Pakistan's GDP growth rate overtook India's GDP growth rate. In fact, it happened in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and even in 2000. So the last time it happened was in the year 2000. After that, India's GDP growth rate was always greater than that of Pakistan. So this is clearly fake, which says that Pakistan has overtaken India's growth rate for the first time, so which is clearly not true. And secondly, we also have to clearly observe that Pakistan's growth rate in the year 2018-19 was just 3.5%, which is obviously less than the 5% of Q1. So this whole comparison itself is false, because we are taking 5%, which is nothing but the quarterly growth rate of Indian GDP of first quarter of 2019-20, whereas 2018-19 Pakistan growth rate was just 3.5%. So this random number of 5.4% that is being attributed to Pakistan, we do not know where it came from. So this is definitely a false comparison. So this news is false on two counts. One, this is not the first time. Pakistan's growth rate, GDP growth rate was more than India's at multiple times in the past. Secondly, this whole comparison itself is false.
When you come across a piece of news that seems too ridiculous to be true, don't leave things to doubt. Run searches on Google and Yandex and weigh out the true and false of the situation for yourself by looking at the facts. But first of all, before you hit that forward button, pause.